So, we're busting out the gameplay commentary on this one, because I think this is a pretty straightforward topic, but there still is a lot to dive into outside of it. The implications, what this could mean. Today, we're talking about one of the more, let's just say under-talked about, underutilized, undervalued maybe? I don't know. We're talking about a guy who doesn't really get talked about in the Vancouver Canucks organization. A player who, if you think about the best case scenario, he could actually be something interesting. But I don't think a lot of Canucks fans are really expecting much out of him. Of course, you know from the title and thumbnail, today we're talking about Vitali Kravtsov, who had recently re-signed with the Vancouver Canucks after 2 seasons abroad with Traktor Chelyabinsk in the KHL. Kravtsov had 2 points in 16 games with the Vancouver Canucks in 22-23, before yeeting over to Russia and posting up a very good season this most recent year with 58 points in 66 Traktor games. He also had 7 points in 19 playoff games, and he now decided to take his talents back over to Vancouver. This guy has never been a full-time NHL player. He's never gotten close to playing 82 games in an NHL season despite being a top 10 pick in the 2018 draft. Yeah, that's right, Vitali Kravtsov was taken just a few picks after Quinn Hughes was, and 1 pick before Evan Bouchard in 2018. Sucks to suck. But now Vitali Kravtsov is coming back to Vancouver, and we've had various people go out there and explain what they think this guy can be. Cam Robinson was explaining the optimism side, how if everything works out for Kravtsov, this guy could go down that Valeri Nichushkin route, where he wasn't really all too good before heading over to the KHL, returning back to the NHL, and then exploding to become a multi-time 20-goal-plus per season guy. Could Vitali Kravtsov go into that same territory? Well, he would need to start scoring some goals, and he'd never done that much at the NHL level. But if you go over to this article, published by Pavel Lysenkov on matchtv.ru, it goes over some commentary by somebody Canucks fans might be familiar with, Sergei Gonchar, talking about how Vitali Kravtsov has everything to play in the NHL. He needs to add some persistence, though. 3-time Stanley Cup winner Sergei Gonchar told MatchTV.ru that Russian forward Vitali Kravtsov has all the qualities to successfully play in the National Hockey League for Vancouver. He scored this amount of points in this amount of KHL games and then had more points in the playoffs. After his contract with Traktor expired, Kravtsov decided to sign a 1-year 2-way deal with Vancouver with a salary of $775,000 per year. Vitali Kravtsov has re-signed with Vancouver. What does he lack to play consistently in the NHL? Sergei Gonchar, former Vancouver Canucks defensive coach and Russian guy, went out there and said you can tell from Kravtsov that he has everything. Good skating, technique, everything else. He needs to be more persistent, get in the goal more often, adapt his game more to the North American style. A little more shooting, fighting. These components need to be developed to fit into the Canucks team. Then it'll be easier for him, Gonchar told MatchTV. And that's it. The article ends there. It just links their website and then their Telegram channel. That's all that Sergei Gonchar went out there and spoke about in regards to the Vancouver Canucks' newest Russian forward. And I can't help but wonder if maybe Gonchar is simplifying it a bit. Like, oh yeah, he's just gotta simplify his game. He's just gotta get used to the NHL style, and then he'll be successful. He's just gotta adapt. Like, duh, of course. He even says, oh, just shoot more, just fight more, just go to the goal more. Like, a lot easier said than done. There's a reason a lot of these KHL guys that are reasonably good. I mean, Vitali Kravtsov had a good KHL season, but there's a reason why the majority of them are not able to come back into the NHL and have the same impact. Like, it's so rare to see somebody actually do that. I think there have been three and a half, really, examples of guys that were actually able to do that properly. I'd say Panarin, Kaprizov, and Kuzmenko. And then the half, you could say Nikita Gusev, because he was pretty good with New Jersey to open things up, but then he kind of fell off a cliff quickly. But then you could say the same thing about Kuzmenko. He also fell off a cliff after his first very good season under Bruce Boudreau with Elias Pettersson. But I guess Kuzmenko is a little different because he's been reasonably good with Philadelphia and LA especially in the years afterwards. But that's it. It's just those 3.5 kind of guys that have been KHL studs that transferred over to the NHL and continued with that level of production. Artemi Panarin and Kirill Kaprizov are both 100-point guys. Kuzmenko had 39 goals in his first NHL campaign. And then you look at it and it's like the other guys in the KHL who are top point producers this most recent season, like a lot of these players could not crack the NHL and actually have significant production. Vitali Kravtsov was one of them. So even though he has the talent, even though he has the skills, the pace, good skating and everything, as according to Sergei Gonchar, it's going to take a lot of adjusting for Kravtsov to become what he could become. The Valeri Nichushkin route is interesting because Nichushkin, I mean, he's a 20-goal guy every single year. I guess you could say maybe there's 4 guys, not 3.5, but 4 guys that were able to carve out successful NHL careers for themselves. Nichushkin's good, but it took a while for him to get up there. For Kravtsov, maybe you would have to expect something similar. It's not going to come right away. But of course, if it does come right away, if this guy is able to replicate that Andrei Kuzmenko level of production, he's able to come over, he gets it, he fully believes in himself, he gets that confidence up, and he's like, yeah, this is how you play hockey in the National Hockey League, this is how you get success, this is how you get results, I'm going to go to the front of the net, I'm going to be the net front tap-in guy, I'm going to be with Elias Pettersson, I'm going to outduel Jake DeBrusk and Evander Kane to get those top minutes with that top dog. Like, this guy has a big hill to climb if he wants to be somewhat of a meaningful left-wing contributor on the Vancouver Canucks. He has to beat out Höglander, he's got to beat out Kane, he's got to beat out DeBrusk, he's got to beat out whomever it is makes that final fourth-line spot, Arshdeep Bains or Max Sasson or whatever. I mean, it's not going to be easy for Kravtsov, but if he's able to at least force himself into the preseason and get some momentum over there, we could maybe see something special happen here. I don't know if 20 goals is in the wheelhouse. I don't know if this guy even plays, let's say, 30 NHL games this season. But at the very least, you could say that Kravtsov will provide some Abbotsford Canucks depth and scoring, right? He's probably good enough to get that level of production there, but ultimately, we're gonna have to wait and see. Right? This is where we dive into the what-ifs and the roster breakdowns of Vancouver, which we're not going to get confirmation on until the actual season begins. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Vitali Kravtsov and what Sergei Gonchar said about this guy? That he does have what it takes to play in the NHL and be a meaningful contributor, despite a lot of Canucks fans maybe thinking the contrary. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Roll 99. And bye.